Good morning.
Morning.
Wow.
Jamie, thanks for joining us. Joshua will be here momentarily, he tells me, after working a long night shift. So what's occurring? Anything? Anybody want to go first? Anything to shout about this week? Reefing related, ideally.
I've done my most heinous of chores this week, and that is descale and deep clean every power head and gyro pump, which I absolutely hate doing.
Oh.
But well worth it. Well worth it.
That sounds fun.
How many items are we talking about here? Just out of interest.
Got three reef wave gyros, 2 MP40s, and an MP10.
Okay. And what's your process?
A bucket of RO water, a couple bottles of Kilrock acid, which I find was pretty good. Soak them for half an hour, run them all through. Get the old toothbrush out, isn't it? It's a labour of love, that. And they go for a nice pink to a black colour. Is
that how you normally dispose of bodies in that room?
Well, let's just say I have a chemical profile.
But other than that, I saw on the socials the other day you've got something. I have to be fair, Jamie. Before we go any further, I have got to sort of make people aware that there is going to be, unfortunately, some conversations today, some flashing imagery, and there may also be some talk regarding to, dare I say it, tropical fish.
You're going to get yourself a name because you was flashing on Friday night stream as well, weren't you? So you need to be careful, son. You'll be on a register before you know it.
So what's been happening in the tank behind you? Because I saw something on, was it Instagram the other day you posted?
For the freshwater stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I picked up a new arowana to go in there, which is quite a special fish, a super red.
Is that behind you right now?
It is, yeah, high at the top. You'll see him cruising by. It's basically a stingray tank, this one, but something for the top was always on the cards. Nice. Yeah, just quite a special fish. For those of you that like the freshwater stuff.
What?
Cool.
Hey? I was waiting for all the freshwater booze in the comments.
Get him off.
There has been talk in the past. This is an 8 foot by 2.5, by maybe turning it into a reef or a fish only system at some point. But yeah, I don't know. That's a whole other cost, isn't it, at that size?
Wow. How many fish have you actually got in there? Let me just throw it up on big screen. How many fish are in? Oh, he's there. Look at him. Yeah.
Yeah. There's four stingrays, tigerfish, and an arrow. So just 6 in total.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, just 6.
Do you name the fish at all, or do they? I know you've got wife, kids, family. Do the kids get involved? Do they get names, or
it's not the name of the fish, is it?
We've named a couple in the past, but none of them.
Can we name him live on this morning's show? Would you take suggestions from the viewers?
Let's take suggestions then.
You'll take suggestions. Okay, yeah. Awesome. If you would like.
In the past, we've had themes have always been like rhyming. So we had Neil the Eel, for example. He was a good one.
Neil the Eel.
I had a platinum white alligator guy, which we call Barry, like Barry White. What else have we had? Alan the arowana. That's been done. So Alan's been done already. Throw some suggestions out. That's a good shout. Yeah, let's have a look.
Harold the arowana, surely.
Harold.
No. Harold.
All right. That's the first one.
There you go.
I don't think Jamie's ready for 2 hours of drippy. So just do it. Just increase it gradually over the next.
He's used to me in AAC. He's used to it.
I sat outside AAC yesterday watching Drippy leave before I went in. So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
He's got some brains, this boy. I'll tell you.
How long have you been in the hobby for then, Jamie? I know you've done some videos on YouTube, and there are some great ones out there. If anybody wants to have a deep dive into your setup, there's been a couple of people that have visited you to do sort of features. But how long have you been in it, incidentally? Just out of curiosity.
So keeping fish, I've got since I was about 5 or 6. I know my parents. I was badgering my parents to get a fish tank, and I used to do judo as a kid, which I absolutely hated. And they took me to my first sort of grading to get my first belt, and I got kicked 7 bells out of basically, and they felt sorry for me and bought me a present anyway for not winning. And yeah, I got a hexagonal fish tank with 2 goldfish in it, and that was kind of it. I was in then. So all the way through, you name it, tropicals. I've always had a pond in my life. Always grew up with koi ponds and stuff. So,
Hey.
Oh, evening.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh, here he is. Look, how they can just look. The most important ones can just saunter in whenever they want. Look.
So, Jamie, just before we move on, we're going to talk about some of your tanks in a bit. But what's made you balance both reef and tropical then, or freshwater? Sorry.
I'm obsessed with fish keeping. So I know the natural sort of progression is a lot of people have a freshwater tropical tank, and that's how you get into your marines and your reefs, and then you kind of leave your past behind and go solid reef. Whereas I've got an interest in all of it, even to the point of going to uni and studying marine zoology and zoology. So the natural world and all things aquatic are of interest to me. So I've always think I'm going to have both. Okay. And I kind of go a bit deep with everything I get into. So I've gone really deep on the reef, and I've gone really deep in my tropicals in the past. So one doesn't hinder the other. So if I can do, as long as I'm fortunate enough to be able to do both, I probably will.
Cool.
Normally the deeper you go, the happier you are, isn't it?
Behave.
Yeah.
It's Sunday morning. I know exactly where your mind goes. Right, I'm going to jump into the comments to say good morning to everybody that's joined us this morning. But we are going to talk a little bit more to Jamie in a second. Morning, John Wright. Hope you're good. Happy weekend. Happy Sunday.
Morning, John Boy.
Morning.
Only got this mug this morning.
We've got Rennie's Reef with us as well. Good morning, Rennie's Reef. Hope you're good. Happy Sunday. Critical Reef is in the house. Morning, Reefers. Gary Neal, good morning. Anthony's with us, UK 120. Morning, Anthony. Hope you're good. Hope you're having a good weekend so far, mate. Gaz is in the house. Gaza. Harry's here as well. The Reefing Harry Bow. Evening. Oh, morning, should I say. CNC Reefs, happy Sunday, everybody. Looking forward to the show. Thank you very much. Thanks for the support. Leroy's here.
Bandit.
Morning, Lee.
Morning, Lee.
Thanks for yesterday.
Morning, Lee.
Came round and helped me set a few things up in here. Paid him handsomely with a Pizza Hut. He was happy with. Got Mo in the house. Good morning, Mo.
Morning, Mo.
Hope you're well. Amanda Davidson. Good morning. Hope you're not on the vodka at this time. 12 o'clock somewhere. Matty Boy's in the house. Good morning, Matthew. Hope you and Maxine are well. Sorry, Roxanne. Or Roxanne and Maxine. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's got two
I don't know the running joke on this. Someone might have to enlighten me.
I think Steve can cover that on Wednesday's show. What else we got on here? John B's here. Morning, John.
Morning, mate.
How are we? Dan's Reef is here as well. Good morning. You'll have to remind me, Ian, the guy that calls me Pickled Onion.
David.
David. Good morning, David. Sorry, back to Ryan. Morning, Ryan.
Morning,
How are we? We've got Newton's Reef in the house. That's a nice guitar.
On him, I saw him. He posted some acros either this morning or last night. Amazing.
Looks like a nice tank there. Yeah, some nice antheas there. Very nice.
Is that Peter, Ian?
Yeah, Newton, the one who's just picked up 2 orange spot filefish yesterday.
Yes. Saw him with the Jolly Boys. Yeah.
Very good reefer.
Haley's with us. Morning, Haley. Hope you're good.
Morning, mate.
We've got Woody's Reef as well. Good morning, Woody's Reef. Happy Sunday
Morning, mate.
weekend. I think we're flying through some of these. Stevie Boy's with us.
Stevie Boy.
Mr. Fox. Hope you're good. Thanks for the pipe. Steve sent me the pipe for the Trident, the clear pipe, because the bit of pipe had got a little piece of pipe. I don't know if you can see it. It had got like a little bit of a, you can't see it really, got a little bit of a kink in it. There you go, that's better.
Yeah,
A little bit of kink in it. So
That
Steve
looks
sent me out in the post.
Is that from being stored too long in the box?
It is actually. It is.
What's that?
I've got a bed pipe. No, seriously.
Yeah.
There you go.
Metal tie around it.
Camera will let me do. There you go. That's better. Better.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway. Yes, thanks, Steve. So Steve sent me through. And you know when you hear about these articles of like Amazon and other companies that send out loads and loads of packaging, yeah, for like or large amounts of packaging in a really small item. So Kaz got the parcel. We got it. They put it in one of the recycling bins. Anyway, she got it out. It was a fair size, like it wasn't a shoe box size, a bit smaller. And she said, "I think it's empty." And I opened it up, and he'd put it full of polystyrene Watsits, bless him, and everything else, and just the pipe. But anyway, thanks, Steve. It got here safely. Quality control in the old dispatch was much appreciated. But thank you. Who else we got in here? Reese. Have I already said good morning, Reefer Reese? Don't know whether I have. If I haven't, good morning. Have I shouted out Sylvester? Don't think so. Good morning. Who else we got in here? Rama. Hope you're good. Tom, hope you're good. Happy Sunday to you. We've got Melinda from Australia, so that'll be. What is it?
8 hours ahead. About 6 o'clock.
Yeah. We've got the Scottish Reefer is with us. Good morning.
Morning.
Good, mate. Practical Reefer is with us. Morning, all. DC Reefing. Not seen that one for a while. Nice to have you in with us.
Right.
Mylot, morning.
Morning, Mylot.
Michael Kenny, good morning.
Hey, Mr. Happy Hammer himself.
Morning. Liam's down south at the minute, just getting ready, and he's going to AAC. Have a great day, everyone.
Enjoy.
He's in Grace at the moment, right by Lakeside. If anyone knows where that is.
I've noticed that he's only doing the AI avatars at my expense on a Friday night. So
I've told him.
Thanks for leaving off it on a Sunday, Liam. I appreciate it.
It's funny when it's happening about you, isn't it?
Morning, Robert. Hope you're good.
Oh, morning, Robert.
Noodle Reef is in the house. Good morning. Why are you guys up so early? It's a Sunday. Well, get up and talk a little bit of reef. We don't talk anything reef on a Friday. Well, a little bit. Leah, good morning. Hope you're good. Happy days. My tank has turned a corner. It's on fire. Oh, nice to hear.
Yeah.
Not literally. Hopefully not an electrical fire, but no.
Ron says, have you got TMC products? If it is, obviously.
Behave. Spiller's Reef is here as well. Good morning. That's a new one. Nice avatar. Very nice. Dave's Reef. Good morning. I think we are. Oh no, Crusted the Clownfish.
Hey.
Morning.
Morning, mate.
Is that Dan?
Right, yeah.
It is.
Morning, Dan. Hope you're good.
Morning.
Big lump.
Yeah. What else we got in here? Oh, 8 p.m, Tom. Yeah, do apologise. A bit early in the morning for me. Anton Smith. Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Rosie.
I think that is everybody.
Don't miss anyone out, Tom.
Well, if I do, as always, we'll try and give you a shout out as we go through this morning's stream. But with Jamie joining us this morning, if anybody's got any questions for Jamie, if you've not already follow him on Instagram, fire a question in the chat. For those of you that joined us a little bit later, including Josh, thanks for making the effort. Appreciate it. We are going to give Jamie some suggestions on his arowana. Is it? Sorry, again? Yeah. New addition to his freshwater system. But yeah, they need to be safe enough for his children to repeat. So
far, because there's no other suggestions, so far it's Harold.
So far I don't. Yeah. So please help me out.
No.
Oh dear! And you have to say it like that as well. Is that all? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, Jamie gave us a brief little update before we dive into sort of Jamie's systems. Anybody else been up to anything this week? Anything you want to report? Any purchases or any new additions?
I've had a few. I went to Collective Coral to see Dan.
Okay.
I sent you some videos, didn't I?
You did. Yeah.
You've got lovely bits there, mate. Very, I would say, underrated in the UK as a supplier.
Where is
Don't
he?
really. I mean, Kent, Eden in Kent.
Oh,
Lovely,
is that it?
lovely, lovely setup. Had some nice bits there.
Right. So you're talking about. Let's have a look. Talking about this guy. This one.
He'll be Love to Reef.
Yeah, got a show. He's got a stand at Love to Reef. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So does he do appointments, or is it just online? Because I'm assuming you just.
He was trying not to do appointments for a little while because I think he was just, I wanted to have a little bit of a break, but I think he's back on it now. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously he does ship stuff as well, and he's pretty good at shipping. So.
Okay. What did you get? Do you want to share it with us? Anything? I'm assuming you didn't buy any of the beginner corals, or did you?
I did actually. I bought myself a barley slimer.
Okay.
Because I had one of them for a little while. I've got the Tony Brazotenius. Don't know if you've seen that before. Brazotenius. That's nice.
I will have a look at that in a second. Is that on the SPS section? It will be, won't it?
Yeah, I think it's on there, yeah. I got the... Do you know that big blue staghorn aquapora that I grew out?
Yeah.
German one. I got that back.
How do you know it's a German one?
Because that's where it comes from originally.
Got a little tash.
It comes from Joe's Coralline farm in Witten in Germany originally.
Right.
And then it's been around everyone in the hobby, and yeah.
He's got a fair few bits, hasn't he?
He has, mate.
Is it one of those websites, though, that we all hate, that says they've got it, and then when you go to buy it, it's out of stock?
He's got it, and if it's on there, it's in stock.
Would you say he's reasonably priced?
Very reasonably priced, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
What you just spend £3
I'm sure there's a section that's got is there a signature pieces section? No.
Hang on a second. We've got. Let me just go back to the
two things at once here. We're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna struggle it.
We've got the coral packs, SPS corals, LPS. There's always some pallies, soft corals, whizzy wigs.
What it says, what you get? Have a look on there quick. I'm sure the Brothers Pino's in there. That Fusion Millie's nice.
Yeah.
So what's this geezer? Got a shop? Got a shed in his back garden or what?
This one.
Basically, yeah, that's nice, mate. It's lovely. I picked one of them up.
Yes,
nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Peter Newsom's got quite a big piece of it, actually.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well. Yeah. He's got like a rainbow stag, very similar to the one I picked up from Vince. That's absolutely insane. I'll send you a picture, Tom, so you can see.
Is this the same rainbow stag that Paul Hughes has got growing in the back?
I'm not sure. In Dan's display tank, it's like a deep, vivid purple, but he's on the Oceano now, and I'm not sure that I'm sure the trace elements have changed, the ratio of trace elements, because it's gone completely different colour to what it used to be.
Right.
So now it's more like a vivid purple, but yeah, it is. It's a lovely piece, mate. Send you a photo.
And you're waiting on some cleanup crew you said to me yesterday for the new tank, is that right?
Yeah. I ordered some off of eBay stupidly, and I haven't heard anything for a little while.
Okay.
They're probably still making their way to you, mate.
Yeah.
I see Neil's got a name in the comments for the arowana.
Let's have a look. I like that.
That's not better than old. Surely.
If you go down to the second from the bottom, you call it arowana grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Although mine's got a bit more weight on it, I should say, or is that bad?
Oh.
Brave.
It's very, very risky for a Sunday morning.
Is that the same offshore geezer, Neil Down, or is that a new geezer?
Yes, no, it is, Neil. It is. It is.
Yeah,
So,
I think
Ian, other than SPS corals, anything else? Just what you fish are all in now? That you're just letting it do its thing?
No, I haven't been back to ADC. He's got bits that I've paid for that I just haven't had time to go and get. So obviously, I haven't had the car. So
Yeah. Okay.
What are you waiting on? Fish or coral?
Fish.
Oh, what are you waiting on?
Macromis, Amphius, China Wrasse, and what else do you have for me? A tank.
Do you know what a China Wrasse looks like? Just in case you come back with a. Now then.
It's a shame the kids in the shop that bag them don't, isn't it?
All right. Are you happy with the progress of it, though? Seriously, yeah?
Yeah, I'm over the moon. I mean, I don't know whether you want to let people know what we're doing on Friday.
What are we doing on Friday?
You tell me.
No, it's not been confirmed yet. We'll talk about it on Friday. I might not be around for Friday's stream, but we'll see. We'll see.
That means Kaz is watching downstairs.
No, it doesn't. Anyway. Steve, moving on. Steve, anything been happening with you? Your tank behind you? Anything to share with us?
I bought a Stratton.
Hey!
Nice.
So yeah, I've joined the Stratton Club now.
Is it on now?
It is, yes.
Come on.
Hand that camera up.
Where is he?
Did he tell you how powerful? Lovely, mate.
Yeah, it's insane. Running at 30%, twice the power of two Reef-led 90s.
Really?
Mental.
It looks lovely, Steve, mate.
Yeah, really happy with it. Really happy.
So, what size is that one?
That's the biggest one.
What size is that one?
Copy from.
The tank is a Reefer 250, but I'm going to get another Stratton, and then I'll have two of them over a 6-foot tank when I change my tank.
Do you know what makes me laugh? When you say something like that, we always feel like we've got to justify what we've done, right? We're addicts in this game. We all get it. You ain't got to justify it. You haven't got to justify it, mate.
But if anyone's thinking about getting one for a Reefer 250, you definitely don't need the biggest one.
Yeah.
But like anything, you probably might upgrade at some point. So, you're better off getting the bigger one.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's a really good way, isn't it, of forcing yourself to get a bigger tank. If you buy a too big a light for the tank you've got, then you have to get a bigger tank.
Yeah,
I like your thinking.
You want to get the missus to hate the light spill coming outside the tank, and then tell her the only way to stop it and put her mind at rest is to get a bigger tank. There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Job done.
I think there's another tactic as well. You can pipe your pump up wrong, so it makes a lot of noise, and tell her that you need to upgrade to get a quieter tank.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's why that's like this. I don't need to go with this.
So how long have you had it? Oh, when did you get it then? This week?
It arrived Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. No, Monday I got it. I got it from Aqua Group.
Oh, right.
Ah. How excited were you? On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah. I think when I was talking with Ron, I said if I was a puppy, I would have peed on the floor.
Now tell me, how excited were you when you was trying to set it up?
I actually, because everyone had said how difficult it was, I was preparing myself and psyching myself up for a mammoth task, and I threw it up. Well, not literally threw it up, but yeah, hung it. All of the clips worked to start with, which was good. And then I powered it up, found it straight away on the app. I picked up the manual because I thought I'd better have a quick look at the manual because I know how difficult it is. Opened the manual and it was only in German.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And my German is nicht so good. So I went straight back to just the typical bloke thing of just winging it. And it was easy. Really easy. So
How
So you're trying to say that I made it look really hard when we did it live?
Yeah.
I think you put the pressure on by doing it live.
and you was half cut when you was doing it as well. So it probably makes
Yeah.
Steve, how is it? Have you put a separate bit of timber in your ceiling so the screws get a good bite, or have you just gone straight into plasterboard, or have you gone straight into?
No, so I measured where it was going to be. I put a screw in, and one of them went straight into a joist. So I was like, happy days, that one's fine. The other one was not on a joist, so I just got a plasterboard fixing, screwed it in, and then screwed the screw into that. And it's plenty solid enough.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
If it comes down in the tank on the street, you know why.
Yeah, if you see one side, to be fair, if it's going to happen, it will be on a live stream. So.
Oh yeah.
So would you say?
9 hours.
Oh, God, there's always one, isn't there? Is there an app? Yes, John, there is.
I will say the app is not very good.
Correct.
The browser is much better.
Yeah, the browser's much easier.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be working on making the app better, aren't they? But that
Apparently,
hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Value for money? Are you giving it? Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Early days, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
To put you on the spot.
I was looking at what lights I was going to need for the 6 foot, and I was going to get Radians, and that gives out more light than 2 Radians and is about the same price and uses less power. So, yeah, I think.
And it's got no fans.
And it's got no fans, yeah. So if you're you're about to buy lights and you're going to buy Radians, buying one of them, yeah, it's definitely value for money. Save yourself some money. If you've already got Radians,
yeah,
that's a bit of a different story, I think.
Yeah.
The one thing I was looking at it, but then I saw on Steve Fox's on Exodus, the ATI, they're even next year they're bringing out a brand new Straton that's supposed to be even better than this one. Even next year. No, brand new models to go off this one. You're bringing out a brand new one.
Is that not the thinner one?
No.
Yeah.
It's just an upgrade on this one. I saw it yesterday and I thought, blimey, all those people that bought they could run as
No,
Steve Fox right now going, what's he going on about?
You told me.
Oh dear.
I'm sure they've got like thin bars coming.
They've already out there.
That's the Flex. It looks like an Evergrow.
That's the Flex. Yeah, it's been out there a little while, that.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Shit.
Is that a wind up, Jippy?
Sorry, boys.
His face.
Brilliant.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, good. So, obviously, a big purchase. Anything in the livestock sort of domain at the minute? Anything happening there?
No, nothing. Had some issues with a pectinia.
Right.
It's kind of, it's not. It was puffy, and now it's like pulled on tight on the skeleton. It's starting to die off on one edge, and I think it's the toadstool that's next to it that's upsetting it.
Right.
So I've just relocated it to see if it gets any better.
Is a pectinia SPS, LPS, or what?
I'd say
LPS.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
What one did you get, Steve? The Space Invader?
No, rainbow.
Oh, lovely.
They're nice.
Yeah. I've had it for a while. It's just started to look not very happy. So I've been putting back-toe balance in as well for the last week, and all my gonnies are looking much happier now.
Was it looking unhappy with the Radions, or since you put this new light on?
It was looking unhappy before.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mo, just a quick question from Mo. How big is the Stratton power supply? I'd probably say, would you agree, gentlemen, about the size of a phone, but built thicker in terms of depth?
That's quite
More
small.
about-
No, I think it's bigger.
much bigger.
Sorry, I'm on about the connector. I'm not on about the driver. Sorry, I was on about the connector between the
I
two.
think the driver part's like about 20-25 centimetres long, and then it's probably, I don't know.
In the meanwhile driver, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably 8 centimetres thick, It's quite chunky.
It's like a house brick and a half.
Yeah. It's quite big.
That's a good description.
Pain in the arse to hide if you mount it on the ceiling.
Josh, you're quite low.
And then the pain in the bum, obviously, if you're mounting onto a ceiling.
Yeah.
One thing I do wish though is that you could have the wire, because as you can see at the moment, it's coming out there.
Yeah.
I wish it'd come out in the middle, that way, in the middle at the back.
Yeah, I agree. Because when I have mine positioned, if I try and put mine at that side of the tank, it pulls the light with it because of how thick the wire is. Yeah, that minimal, but
that's
aesthetically a bit frustrating.
That has been a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. That, or even if you could manually attach the power supply where you wanted, if there were like 3 or 4 different points on each side, that'd be a good touch.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks, Steve. Josh, anything to shout about, Chair?
The scape's finished. Didn't take as long as I thought it would, actually. I'm happy with it. I've had an update on the tank. The tank's going to be, I think Fragbox are getting them early April. So there's been a delay on them. So they're getting them early April. So then obviously it'll make its way over the pond, be over here. So hoping end of April, which, I mean, we're nearly end of March now, so it's not even that far away. And it gives me a chance to get a few other bits done because I've just sort of dragged my heels a little bit with it. Find a way of mounting frags when I do it because I'm not going around. Well, I'm going to try and do something similar to what I did last time. But yeah, I'm going to try and use a few more normal things rather than DIY the life out of things. But yeah, other than that.
So is your tank going to AAC or is it going to your house direct?
I am going to assume direct because, and correct me if there's anyone from AAC's in, I don't know that they're getting the Laguna in anymore. So I don't know if they're going to be getting them full stop. If they do, then potentially to them and then up here. But otherwise, I'm going to assume direct. So, and I might have a nice sized, what do you call them? Plant, can't even think what they're called. Mangrove might have someone has offered me theirs, and it's already well established and it's a very nice size. So that'll be really nice. I can add it into the tank as it is now, and that'll do a little bit for nutrient control. I did realise my MP10. I was trying to change the speed on it because I was thinking it seems really slow, and I messed on with it for ages and realised that it's not actually been switched on properly since I set this new tank up. Well, the holding tank up. I've had it on the battery backup the entire time, which has obviously been plugged in and kept it charging. So it's running at like 10%. And I was like, why is it not powering up? Then I realized it was flashing green. I was like, what does that mean? I had a look and it was like battery backup. I was like, idiot, never turned it back on. So that's been sat running for well over a month, just draining the battery backups.
Have you sold the tank yet? Have you sold the tank yet?
Nope. Mate, I am getting a little bit frustrated on that. I have had countless numbers of people agree a price, agree a time to come and collect it, and then it comes to it and they ghost you.
Really? Wow.
Welcome to my world.
Mate, honestly, I it's probably approaching double figures now.
Wow.
Like, it's getting really frustrating. To the point where I'm dropping the price more and more because I want it gone. She's tearing her hair out because she's like, the room's a mess as a result of it. I mean, it's literally just a bare tank sat there, so it doesn't look too bad. But we'll not tell her that. But yeah, it's causing a bit of hassle, and I just want the thing gone. But yeah, I've literally had someone message me this morning while we've been on here, and the message was, "I'd really love to come and collect that tank, but you're 4.5 hours away, so it's too far." Why bother?
Basically,
like, just drive it. Yeah,
you know
drive
what?
it up.
Get in my car and drive it down to you. That's what he's probably thinking.
That's exactly what he's hoping I'll do. I mean, if he wants to pay fuel and time, then I'd be more than willing to at this point. I'm getting a bit frustrated. So
right, I was asking what tank is it, Josh, for people that are watching?
Red Sea XL 200. I don't think it's the G2. I think it's a G1. But the seams have had regular inspection. There's not any indentations on any seams. A couple of little marks in the glass, but what tank doesn't? Sunderland, so unfortunately I'm the back end of nowhere.
I'd love it, but you're too far. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
just quickly on them mangroves. Would you bury the roots in your substrate?
I haven't looked into that properly yet. I know that the person it's Headley's Reef, Dan Headley. He's the one that's got them. He's got them in his little nano, and he did have one of the the drop-off tanks.
Yeah.
So he had it wasn't a drop-off tank, but he created it into a drop-off. So he put a baffle inside it and then completely filled it with sand so he could plant the mangroves in it. So he has done, but I'm going to be putting mine in the rear chambers. So whether or not I have a basket of like fine rubble or whether or not I have a basket of sand, I don't know yet, but we'll see.
I'm sure, Paul, at NAC on the coral trays where they've got their mangroves, they've just got them in some polystyrene.
Yeah, they're floating.
Floating, yeah.
You don't have.
I don't think they're rooted.
Yeah, I'm debating just getting a load of the rock that's in there currently and just smashing it right down into real fine rubble and just sitting the roots in that, just so that they get a good flow of water through it, so they can get access to nutrients quite easily, and it just gives them something to bind to, so that they keep nice and steady.
Joe, you got any mangroves?
I have, yeah. I've got a couple on the go. I did have them in the frag tank. I've set up a little soft coral tank at the side, which you'll probably see later on. There's one in there, but I put one in my freshwater planted tank, and that's growing at twice the rate as the ones in the salt tanks.
Nice.
Wow.
Whether that just prefers as high nutrient, I don't know, but it's just
mangroves. Do they grow in better in brackish
Yeah.
water? Yeah. So the salinity is a lot lower.
They can tolerate full salt, but obviously, if you think where they are in the wild, they're on like river inlets and stuff, so they get a tidal change every day.
Yeah.
They're not set to one. They can tolerate salt, but they do grow. But as I'm finding out in the freshwater stuff, they're so much more successful.
That's interesting.
And the ones that Dan Headley's selling, I've seen he's been toying closing that tank down for a while now. It takes so long to get to that sort of size and establish that the only way you're going to get one like that is by a tank closure. You can't go out and buy one because it costs you a fortune.
Yeah, it's an absolute belter one, isn't it?
I'm fortunate enough to be given a tank of mangroves off Alex drip.
Really? What, Big Al?
Yeah.
Where's he got?
There was some special. I think. Sorry, Tom. I think
You're right. Go on.
Julian Sprung with Two Little Fishes actually made a product of mangrove mud,
Right.
like a substrate for them. But from what I've heard, it's probably great at growing them, but it throws your ICPs out of whack. It leaches so much stuff out, like metals and things. But you can go to town and do a proper biotope setup and use products like that, and it probably works really well.
When I first got in the hobby, there was a phase before Triton came out. There was a phase of people that were putting the miracle mud in a sump and planting mangroves in the miracle mud. If you can,
I've seen people put it in media bags as well.
I've always had good success with miracle mud. Miracle mud's really good.
Yeah.
It is for me the whole point. Of
sorry, Jamie. For some reason, I've just got a picture of Ian putting miracle mud on his face with 2 cucumbers before bedtime. Sorry.
No, I was saying for me the whole point of the mangroves was to sort of toy with a bit about nutrient export. So putting a fertilized soil in for them sort of is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
You want nutrients from the water, don't you?
Yeah.
They look great in a reef tank, though. They do.
But I agree. I think they have to be the really big ones. But you've got to have the patience to. I mean, how many years do they take to grow? Just out of interest, does anybody know?
They take a lot of time. I'd probably get 2 new leaves out of in the salt tank. I'd probably get 2 new leaves every 6 months.
Wow,
it's really slow. But when you guys came down to AAC on the network meetup, and we went out the back into the back units, did any of you see the mangroves growing in one of the square tables there?
No, I have seen them before though.
Can't remember.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They're under I think it's a Phillips light, similar to a Stratton.
Coral care.
They've grown really well under that. But again, they've been in there years, and they're probably about the size of a decent small shrub you buy. But they take years to get that size.
That's interesting.
When you first put them in your tank, all the growth comes from the roots, so you don't see it, but they shoot loads of roots out, and the top doesn't change for sort of 6 months.
Can be similar to an acro encrusting before it then goes up or out.
Yeah, pretty much that sort of thing. Yeah.
Spray the leaves with fresh water.
You what? Sorry.
Someone said to me you need to spray the leaves with fresh water.
Yeah, you missed them with RO. When they're young, they don't have the a mature mangrove grows like snorkels, if you like, to get rid of salt. When they're young, they don't have that, so they get rid of salt through the leaves, and you have to spray them to keep washing it away, basically.
Well, Scottish Reefer, and he's got a couple of mangroves for his Evo, and they've been doing great.
Put them in a pint of tap water for a couple of weeks, and they'll probably pick up.
Yeah, I might try that with mine. I've got one that I've had in for 6 months, and you can. If my head can work it out there.
Yeah.
You look like you're on a protest, Steve.
Looks like a wireless antenna for something.
That's all it's looked like the whole time I've had it.
Just put that. Is that in your weir box?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I'm being donated a tank. I think there's about 8 of them, and they've been going for a couple of years. And I wanted to take them out of the tank and put them in, link them to a reef tank, and I've been advised to leave them in the tank that they're settled in. So, which is Freshwater, I think.
Oh, you're getting another tank. Is that what you're saying?
She can't be listening. She can't be listening.
No, it's gonna. I'm literally gonna put it here. I think.
Is she watching?
No,
Can't be.
No. If I hear footsteps in a minute, then yeah, no. I'll normally get a WhatsApp message. Anyway, okay, cool. Drip.
Brilliant.
What you been up to? What's been happening in the tank behind you?
A few little subtle changes. I haven't got a reef mat, so I changed out my filter sock cups for 2 new cups to put filter floss in yesterday. Poly filter in. I don't know if anyone's got a Gen 2 Red Sea. So this thing in the sump, where the water comes down and then goes up.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, so I also bought a new fish yesterday, and you can just see it there. Speaking to Paul, speaking to Barry, and I'd got a bone. Oh, look at that! Look, as if that weren't right on cue. Look. I got a cash bonus off my boss Friday. He just slipped it in my pocket, £250 and AAC normally sort me out a little bit of this and that. So by the time I'd done the maths in terms of what's actually got to come out of my bank account for something so beautiful, so rare. When it changes into male, I mean, they are a thing of absolute beauty. It's an angelfish, which I absolutely love more than any other type of fish. It's reef safe. And I just thought, you know what? When else? I'm single. I ain't got a mortgage. I haven't got kids. When am I going to get a chance to spend this sort of money on the hobby I love at the moment? So I just thought, fuck it. And so came home with that. Oh, yeah, sorry, Bandit. Yeah, it is.
Lee wanted that fish.
You can have it for £3,000. Yeah, I just thought, you know what am I waiting for? That is a rare angelfish, reef safe. I've got the potters, but it just keeps me towing with the angelfish, mate, which really does make me feel better about my tank. I don't know if anyone else feels the same about any other species of fish, but yeah, she's already slightly turning male because she's got very, very dark stripes coming down her back, which you won't be able to see from here, but you can see when you get up close to her. And the males are just, absolutely stunning. The tail. Talking to Jay about freshwater. Jay, do you obviously know what a pearl gourami is?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So the markings on the tail of this fish are very similar with the circular markings on the tail. Just the more you look at it, the more you see something else, and you go, "Blimey, it is truly a beautiful fish." When I first saw it, I was with Rob the helicopter, and I wasn't overly bowled over, but the more I've gone in there, the more I've always left thinking, oh God. And then that timing's everything, isn't it? And then my boss, obviously, I'm doing extremely well at work at the moment, and it's funny because the better I do at work in my job, the the more money AAC seem to earn. It's funny, isn't it? Can't wait that one.
The good thing is, all those Genicanthus angels is that you are sort of getting 2 fish for the price of 1, because that will be a different fish in a year's time.
Exactly.
You get to enjoy both.
Exactly.
Gaz is asking if it's reef safe.
Yeah. Genicanthus are probably, what would you say, Jay? 95% reef safe?
If I was selling in a shop, I'd probably go that. But I would probably say, personally, I've never seen one touch a coral, ever.
Yeah. But the thing is with every fish, they've all got the ability to one day have a little nip at something, because even in the 3 years and the 3 and a bit years I've been in this hobby, the amount of people when I started said reef safe, and I've seen those fish nip some of my corals. So I just think any fish probably has the ability to nip a coral here or there.
Because they're more of like a pelagic feeder. They're not really
Yes.
a grazer or a picker.
Yeah.
They're not like inclined to even try nipping at something.
Well, I've got
Never,
the potters.
never say never, but you know.
No, exactly. I've got the potters that will roam the caves, and I've got now the swallowtail that will predominantly be in the top tier of the tank, along with a lot of the wrasse. But yeah, I also, if anyone on a Gen 2 Red Sea, so as the water makes its way from the sump to the return chamber, it goes through a baffle and then under, and they plug that with like the really thick black wiry filter foam. And as obviously that's gone over time, I noticed the level in my sump rise, and I'm thinking, what is? And as I sort of narrowed a few things down, I took that out and it was clogged up with absolute shit. So I've removed that, put a poly filter in there, and I will just keep doing that probably once a month. And obviously the flow now is back to normal. But I've got a few algae issues, and I spoke to Tom during the week. The rapist has come up with a really good. I'm going to drill a load of holes in a salt bucket, rest that in my sump, get my gravel vac bucket, and just gravel vac. I think that is where a lot of the issues are coming from, where I haven't done a water change in probably 2 months. I went down this way of trying to see for stability if I could maintain the corals, the acros that have been doing so well lately, and that'll be my new thing: gravel vac in the substrate. Down into a bucket that's full of filter floss with a load of holes in it, where the water will drain back into the sump. So I know Tom did it during the week and said it worked a treat. I think that's the way I'm going to go at the moment. I have to pinch myself, because listen, some people might look at this and go, "That looks like shit, mate." Well, that's fair enough. But at the moment, the acros are coloured up to, you know what, the polyp extension is mental. Everything is just doing great at the moment, other than just a few little algae issues, which I don't really care that much about. It will balance itself out. I will gravel vac and see if I can get the nutrients down a bit, and But other than that, mate, I'm an happy reefer at the moment.
I think me and Steve were both grinning or smirking at the same point when you were talking about the flow through your sump. I think we were both on the same wavelength with this comment from Matty Boy. What's the situation with the pipes drip? There we are.
Situation with the pipes is nothing has changed.
Okay.
I think there was some kind of contest, wasn't there, between Tom and Drippy?
Well,
There
the
was
funny
some kind
thing
of
is,
forfeit
Steve,
or something. Yeah.
well, the funny thing is, Tom needed another reefer to come and help him, didn't he?
I don't think that was in the rules that you couldn't have someone help you, though.
I think it was.
I think I'm with Steve on this.
Well,
I think it was.
Lee was on day release, so I invited him round.
No, day release is different from ever being removed from a register, don't you? So
Anyway,
it's up to you. You have around your house, mate.
no, but what you were talking about with the gravel vacuum, it was on the back of a conversation I had with Steve a couple of weeks ago, because the amount of algae and sort of cyano I was getting in the display tank downstairs was just obscene, and I didn't really want to start doing water changes. So I didn't want to start creating any sort of not instability, but I didn't want to start changing my parameters too much. But yeah, it was Tim, like you said, very simple, and I'm sure there's plenty of people watching that have done something similar. Empty salt bucket, upside down, 8, 10, whatever mil drill bit, drill loads of holes in it, fill it with filter floss, put it in your sump. So if you've got room for a salt bucket, if not, try and get a smaller one. Lid on, drill an hole in the lid, pipe in the lid, and just gravel back into it. and you don't change your water volume. It's the same as you would do with a filter sock, but it's going to last a bit longer because it's filter floss. And it was great. It only took half an hour to do a 9-foot tank, so definitely recommend it. Anyway, there you go. No, did it myself, thank you. Big boy pants on the other day.
Pop down and help you with your plumbing, Drippy, if you need it. Although you might be one fish short at the end of it.
Yeah. Check his pockets. Well, we went yesterday.
No one asked what's going on with your tank.
Bought another fish.
Another fish.
Yeah, we got a Royal Grammar yesterday. Kaz wanted one, so yeah, got a Royal Grammar yesterday.
Arseholes.
I noticed a post as well with some torches.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
In there, little garden coming off.
It?
Yeah.
Hang on, you got more sticks in there now. 'Cause there's a stick on the back right-hand side. It looks like from here.
That's one that Tim gave me. The Joker frag. And yesterday, for the first time in my reefing hobby career, I bought a chalice frag, which I cannot believe I did, because I've always said they don't do anything for me.
Watermelon?
You got two.
I did buy two. I bought one. Oh God, what did I call? What was it, Ian? Was it called Skittles or something?
No, you're talking about the Psamacora now.
No, I'm on about the two chalices that I showed you last night. I can't remember what they called.
Watermelon and something else. Was it?
Watermelon is beautiful.
Was it Wham and Watermelon you got?
I don't know. I'm not into names.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, do you want to show us?
I can't really show you because the camera. Let's have a look. Hang on. Let's have a look. Where are we? Zoom in a little bit. Oh,
that's quite good. Yeah, go on, some more.
So yeah, lights have been on an hour, so stuff just starting to come out. But yeah, it's taking shape.
That is looking really great.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that hurt.
I know that's his one for the month. You ain't getting another one of them.
Yeah. Looking all right, isn't it? Getting there.
Looking good, mate.
Looks crap, man.
There
you go.
Anyway, right.
So when have you, Tommy, you're going to schedule an evening where you invite all the people that told you nothing would grow on that rock onto the live stream?
Yeah,
I was about to say exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait till some of the acros that I start putting in over the next couple of weeks, month, start basing out. So yeah,
I was going to say there's nothing actually growing on it yet. It's all down around the bottom. So
do you know what I will say though, that I've noticed more in? You just notice. I'm feeling like I'm noticing more sort of substantial changes in the reef tank with it being a smaller system than having a bigger system. Like, for example, I didn't really realise the importance of cleanup crew. Well, not the importance, the power of getting good cleanup crew until I put them in here. Because downstairs we've got the chorus wrasse that literally would eat the snails, eat the shrimps, eat hermit crabs, as you know, Drip. But yeah, it's to put in the snails that I've put in and only 2 tuxedos. They're really keeping the ironing board looking clean, looking good, and the substrate. And I put a couple of sand sifted starfish in. And the point I'm trying to make is on a small tank. Yeah, you just I don't know. You seem to.
Talking of starfish, and no, I'm not going there, right? Because it's Sunday morning. Obviously, people are eating Marmite on toast and things like that, right? So, the Australian, what did you call my starfish?
Biscuit?
Biscuit. So my Australian biscuit eats hair algae.
Oh.
No, what did you call it? You called it a bonfire. Was it a bonfire?
Bonfire biscuit, I think we said, from looking online yesterday.
Good old Australians. Yeah. People often say about what eats hair algae, blah, blah, blah. My bonfire biscuit, shall we call it, eats hair algae.
Right.
So, just if anyone out there is thinking about, listen, they're obviously a little bit more pricey than a lot of cleanup crew. I think my one was 70 quid, but it does a wonderful job. And I'd never had a starfish before, and what a great find!
Yeah.
Your first starfish experience.
What's that, Steve?
So your first starfish experience has been a positive one.
Well, I mean, I've had many. I've been very deep in starfish before, obviously, but in terms of in a reef tank, yeah, very, very, very pleased.
I've put the joker, which, well spotted, Steve, is the stick in the back right-hand corner. It's there temporarily at the minute just to help things just kick on in the tank. But yeah, I don't know whether I'm going to keep it or not. I have said there is a rule with this tank up here. It's got coral. It's having corals in it that I haven't got in the display tank downstairs, and I haven't actually got the joker downstairs, so it can stay. But who knows? Watch this space. We'll see. Anyway, right, we're nearly into an hour, gentlemen, and we've got Jamie on to talk about Jamie. And I'm sorry, Jamie, we've talked about everybody else a little bit about you. So put you back on the centre stage for a minute. Tell us about Reef N Teeth. How did it start? Where's it all come from?
How did it start? Well, kind of like most people, you sort of start on Instagram under a bit of pressure because you haven't got one and your mates have. So I kind of did that, and it was a bit of like a photo dump. So if you ever scroll right back to the start,
let's have a look, because I've got you. I've got one. Here's one we made earlier. Here we go.
Pictures to sort of like keep a log, if you like. And some reason because it was predominantly tropical fish at the start, wasn't it? It was all my big bass. I had a 10x4 pond in this room,
right?
And just became really popular. And then I started getting into it, and then I met, as we all have here, met quite a few people online chatting about fish and you know, all that sort of stuff. And it's just I carried on going, and it's been a really good thing. I've really quite enjoyed getting involved with it, and yeah, it's nice. And it's also handy that I can. It's almost like keeping a diary. So if I want to know how long that coral's taken to grow or base out, I can go back and look when I put it in the tank, and you've got a timeline, haven't you, as well? So for me, it's handy doing that.
Definitely.
That's a bit of everything. Yeah.
So I've just noticed here that sometimes when you're hungry, you may turn on the livestock to fill the fridge up. No barbecue, maybe. No. Yeah,
that's it, mate. Yeah, if there's an apocalypse, we're sorted here.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. I had a group of tigerfish. These are Vittatus type African tigerfish, and they're, you know, like you get these fish where you either keep one or you keep a group. You can't only have 2 or 3. Well, these are the same. I had a group of 6 of these, which I bought as like 3-inch little fish, and they lived absolutely fantastic all the way through. And I had the big dominant one. Just died for no reason.
Couldn't want to gobble it up.
Since when it passed away, the remaining 5 they were constantly fighting and killing each other basically. And I chucked it on the compost heap, just thinking I might try and save it and see what comes of it. And having done that, I found when it had sort of it rotted away, I found a stingray barb in the back of its throat. So I found its cause of death.
Really? Wow.
So that was actually quite a good thing to have done, because you know what it's like. If you lose a fish and you can't work out why, you can never sort of close you on it, and you can't improve yourself. But with that, at least I knew what had happened, you know.
Right, let's try and get how many. You've done a lot of posts. Crikey.
Yeah, you'll probably never get there, but it was all.
All right, sorry for trying. Let's have a look. Right. Oh, what's this?
This is when I rebuilt the room.
Okay.
Now.
Wow.
It's just a crappy 1970s garage in the back garden, which, you know, I'm never using anything other than more than a shed. So when we sort of moved in, the wife sort of said, that can be your space, do what you want with it. And I did.
What a good wife.
Nice. So in terms of lawnmower, tools, paint, step ladders, where do they live?
They're in a crappy wooden shed around the side of the house now.
Keep them in the living
Oh
room.
dear.
Yeah. So the story was that when I first built the fish room, as we all know, I was kind of like a bit eager and keen, and pretty much rushed a lot of the things through. And I'd never insulated the floor, and it's basically just a concrete slab, and it used to be a massive heat sink. And it ended up costing me an absolute fortune running the 10x4 pond in here, because it was just wicking away heat. And when I ended up having to close that down just because the electricity bills were becoming stupid, I took the opportunity to strip the whole room out, and I've reinstated the floor. So I've got 50mm Celotex underneath me now.
Did you steal the floor, Jay?
What's that?
Did you blackjack the floor?
No, mate. No, it's all paid for.
Ah. Did you put like a waterproof sealer all over the concrete?
Yeah, well, I kind of cheated. I put a pond liner down on top of it all,
Right.
which is that black mat in there. So it's just a pond liner.
Ah.
Then I put the insulation, put the foam on top of that, and then boarded over the top of it. But I've put battens across every 2 foot. There's a 2x4 batten to sort of help spread the weight in the tanks.
Yeah.
And I've done exactly the same on the ceiling as well. The ceiling's a full ceiling, which has got 50mm Celotex, and then the apex is just filled with rock wool, and then boarded over. So actually, the problem I've got now is cooling this room down. Even in the height of winter, it overheats. I can't keep it cool enough.
How big is that room, Jay?
So it is 14 foot by 8 foot wide, I believe. No, it might be longer than that. 20 foot by 8 foot wide.
So have you got the same issues as Cam who come on Friday in terms of I forgot the word now. Humidity.
I did have. Yeah, I really did. But since I redid it with this, I put an extractor fan in. Comes on 10 minutes every hour, and that buzzes it. It's really, really, really good. I was going to say I've kind of drawn the short straw here because it's happened to me twice. I had the Yorkshire Reefer came round and saw me the day after we'd been at David Saxby's house, so that was a bit of a come down for him. And then I've come in on my first bloody live. You've had that rather special tank on Friday night, so okay.
Don't be daft. We're all reefers here, mate. Don't be daft. So, how long did it take you to build that fish room from start to finish? Then, roughly.
Probably all in all, only about 2 months. But that's because I did it at a pace I could keep up with, sort of buying bits as and when I went. Funny enough, I got all of the. It's lined all the way around with 2.5mm marine, 25mm marine ply, and 100mm Celotex. And I didn't pay for any of the wood at all. A mate of mine does exhibitions and a lot of that sort of stuff. And it's I don't know if it's funny or bad or good or whatever, but all the wood that boarded out my room, probably about 900 quid worth, all came from the barrier they built around Grenfell Tower when that was all boarded up.
Wow.
So when they strip all that down, it's all just skipped and disposed of. And he just messaged me saying, "Do you need any sort of 25mm marine ply?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do. I've just it's going to cost me a fortune." Yeah. So he just turned up with a van full of it, and I just peeled all the stickers off that had the Grenfell stuff all over it and painted over it.
Wow.
How long has it been up, this fish room, Jay?
About 8 years, but this is the second reincarnation of it.
Well,
I
the price
rebuilt
of
it
building
about
materials.
2.5 years ago.
Wow.
Thank God, mate, because the price of building materials now, as Rodders will probably tell you, everything's gone up about another 60%, isn't it, or something?
Mental.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I can't believe how much food you're putting in here in this video. You really feed these things, don't you?
I was about to say, what are you doing for nitrate control with that much food going in? Are you not worried about it?
For the freshwater preds, I do sort of 50% weekly water change, which helps now. But I also grow a lot of plants out of it, so there's loads of creeping vines and stuff going around the room. And my nitrates probably max out at about 50 ppm in this freshwater setup, which isn't terrible.
That's mental. When you think about the amount of food that you're putting in now, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So this is probably 2 years ago now. This is when all the tigers were quite small and the rays were still little pups. But you can see they still get through quite a bit.
What is that fish with the dorsal up?
That is a Hemiiris stormii, type of armoured shark catfish.
I thought it was.
It's kind of like the most shark-like fish you can get in the freshwater hobby. Really cool fish. Like not been in the hobby too long.
You haven't
what you feeding here? Sorry.
They get all seafood, prawns, mussels, lancefish, any of that sort of stuff. Base of fillet, yeah.
How come you haven't experimented with a redfin shark yet, or any of them?
Well, as you know, the redfin sort of sharks, the little black jobbies with the
black ones with the red dorsal and the red tail, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that sort of stuff in the past, but they're just the fish I've got would eat them. They're too small.
Oh right.
Oh, there's a picture then for you.
There we go. This is as I was building it the second time round. So It's got the big pond's already been taken out. You can see the sort of, there was polystyrene on the roof, but I've put a load of Celotex in there and just padded around it all with rock wool. It's kind of like it's like anything. And the first time you do something, there's always things you change the next time.
Yeah.
So I just went to town. I thought I think I spent just over about 1,100 quid on insulation.
Yeah.
Just
Can you imagine now, Jay, what you'd spend now, mate? You get an 8x4 sheets about 150 quid now.
Absolutely. But even now, you'd have to do it because you buy that stuff only once, don't you? So you might as well do it properly.
Yeah.
And what I've probably saved in power consumption, especially nowadays, is it's probably got a payback time pretty quick.
Wow.
So does that room hold heat quite well then? So do you have to really worry with your heaters, etc.?
Yeah, massively. So in fact, this year I'm going to have to get a chiller, I think, because I've added a few more radions and that now, and the rest of the stuff going on in here. The heat is just ridiculous.
Do you even heat that or not?
The heaters are only on for about 3 or 4 months of the year. Like I get to this sort of time when the sun starts coming out and I turn them off.
Yeah,
it's just fans.
Must save a fortune then, really. That in that way with electric.
Yeah. I suppose that might change if I put a chiller on there because that'll be drinking power as well, won't it? I can't really rely on fans at the minute, and obviously the evaporation just gets a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Crikey.
But it's kind of nice because it's a standalone room in the garden. It's like it's completely separate. So if I spill water on the floor and all that sort of stuff, it's not a major issue. Whereas when I had my tank in the house and I flooded the living room a few times, it's not a nice place to be.
I noticed on that couple of photos back, looked like you'd had part of the ceiling re-skimmed. It looked a bit rough. Did you get Rodders round to do it? Did Rodders do it?
So you've got
yours, definitely. That's why you don't do it no more, Sam. You got voted off.
Oh dear.
That's a bite. That's a big bite.
Now then, ladies. So you've got koi as well, Jamie. Is that right? You've got a pond outside.
This is in the garden. Yeah. So I've always had a koi pond in my life.
Beautiful. That.
You are right there, Drippy. It is everything I've done myself, and I'm a little bit handy, but it's just a case of watch a few YouTube videos, learn how to do something, and give it a go.
Don't take advice off Drip, whatever you do.
So you're actually giving the freshwater stuff a bit more airtime than I thought you would, Tom. It's good.
You're all right. Don't worry. I think on a big system, I really do think they do look well. Definitely. What size is this tank? Sorry, this 8 foot. This is the one you got now.
8 foot by 2.5. Yeah, this is when it was in the living room. But it's been moved out here now.
Light coming through. Yeah. Am I right in saying those tigers are the ones that can get like really quite big, like sort of 5 foot?
So that's the Goliath tigerfish.
Right.
These are a similar species, similar thing. They get about 3 foot. I think the world record's about 36 kilo on the fishing line. So big, powerful fish.
The Goliath ones are absolutely terrifying, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh mate, yeah, tonking. This is you're looking at now is when that was a 10 foot by 4 foot easy pond I put in here, and that's what I had all the big bass and stuff in. It was massive. It was like literally half the width of the room. So it was, at this point I didn't have my desk and stuff out here. It was just a case of cramming in what I could. And as you can see, it all has to go through the garage door. So where the reef tank is now, in front of the garage door, it's all been blocked in. So now everything's in here. I can't get anything out without taking the wall down.
Well, just do what Rod has done. Just knock the wall down and make the doorway bigger, isn't it?
The answer to all your prayers, mate.
True that, yeah. That was just over 3,000 litre pond. That was. It's that's what was wicking away the heat straight on the concrete floor.
Harry's asking you what your favourite animal is that you own, Jamie. Good question.
Not even fish now. No, it is probably the reef system as a whole is what I spend the most of my time looking at and playing with. Because I couldn't pinpoint a single animal, but the variety I like. I've obviously got attachment to some of the rays because I've had them since they were born, basically. So.
Oh wow, that's it. Really getting knocked about. Okay.
That's this is on the deconstruction of taking the pond out now. Yeah.
You ever thought about making Arapaima?
No, it's a bit. I don't think that sort of thing should even be sold. Really, like it's a bit of a contentious issue. I've seen quite a few of them sold over the years, but there's only one person I know of in the UK that's got a tank big enough to house even a semi-animal.
Yeah.
So, and you have to, it gets a bit ethical. You ask, out of the hundreds that have been sold, there's only one I know of that's over 4 foot still. Where's all the rest gone? You know, so, yeah.
I'm trying to get some reefing pictures here. I'm getting there. I'm trying.
So this was before I set the reef up. You've gone back too far now.
All right. Okay.
I'm
going backwards, am I? Right. Sorry. Right. Okay. Let me.
Thomas.
Let me stop sharing this a minute. Let me. Well, I'm trying to listen to you lot at the same time as.
You've been going back for 10 years. Who are you trying to kid?
Oh, funny guy. Funny guy. How much time do you spend, Jamie, on husbandry a week? Any idea?
Probably not as much as you think. I reckon maybe. So when I do a water change on the big tank, that's the most time-consuming thing. But I only spend about 10 minutes doing it because it's basically drain it out onto the grass in the garden.
Yeah,
it takes about 20 minutes, and then just turn the tap on to fill it back up again. There's no real sort of manual heavies involved. It's just it's dead easy. I've tried to make it that way, like, you know, automate as much as I can. Even on the reef tank, I'm not doing much.
You had your softeners after that, Jay, once your tank is full up again.
What's that, sorry?
You had your softeners after.
Yeah, I'll do it as it's going in. I just use like Reef's Seachem Prime and just dish it in as it's filling.
Right.
Oh,
so
what's that?
Now you're getting
that looks like saltwater fish.
Now you're getting to the stuff you want to see, yeah.
Hey, here we go.
This is when the tank was first filled. God, it looks. You look back. Do you never look back and think, "Christ, that was awful"?
I still am.
Yeah.
Every morning when Drippy looks in the mirror.
This is probably a month or two in, but this is what I mean. So I've still got the orange spot. He's still going around, so it's nice to sort of keep a timeline. And then the first little sticks.
I love how much milliput you've put on that base.
Yeah, I know. It's
not going anywhere.
I love a bit of milliput. Make sure they don't.
You want to come to me for milliput, boy?
I've heard about your milliput.
Red Sea Foundation, is it?
So when I first set the tank up and I first started dosing, I was on the Red Sea program. But where I am now, it's just so much more efficient to use like this element stuff because I've been using so much product of Red Sea. I think it must be a bit like more dilute. It's not a bad product. I don't dislike it. It's just efficiency wise for me, I've changed over to this element stuff.
I've always used the Red Sea stuff for like manual adjustments. If I ever have any numbers out, I've got it sat there to just tweak things a little bit. I find it really easy to use. Yeah,
no, it is, and obviously because it's like 4-part, you can tweak it a lot, make to your own needs as well. So for me, for example, my magnesium doesn't seem to go down that as quick as anything else. So on this element stuff, I find my magnesium is getting really, really high, whereas I have to keep upping it to keep the calcium where I want it. So now I've started dosing calcium separately as a top up to get around that. So it's all little tweaks that you do along the way.
This counter in the picture then, so I remember from watching one of your videos, I think it was the one you did with Stefan a while ago. So that's a lift up sort of working sort of counter, isn't it? Or worktop, as it were. So you can get to the sump underneath, which is a good touch, good idea. Because
I already had the tank, my actual reef tank is 6 foot by 18. It's not a deep tank front to back, but I had it it's basically what I reared my Stingray pups in. Because I already had it, I thought, well, I might as well use that. There's one less thing to buy, right? But where it's custom made to sort of fit on the window line of the garage, the sump underneath the tank, you know what it's like for equipment, like for your reactors and skimmers and stuff, they wouldn't fit. So that sort of threw me back. So I had to I put the sump remote, so the sump's actually at the side of the tank now, out of the way. But it was a blessing in disguise because now I can lift it up, and everything's accessible. It's so easy to get into. And I've got my resis underneath the tank, which for water changes and for me the top up. It's actually worked really, really well. And I think going forward, if I rebuild any larger system, which I probably will in the future, I think a remote sump is something I'd always do.
Yeah, definitely. Very envious.
Seems like, so old hat.
Is that clean because you were taking a photo, or is that how you normally keep your sump? Because that looks like really like Instagram sort of, friendly.
It was quite new back then, and I don't keep the sump that clean. In fact, where you can see where the reef mat is, that chamber and the one before it, I've never really cleaned out, and I've just got a couple of chunks of like live rock in there about the size of your hand, which it's just full of fan worms in there. There's so many fan worms and sponges that grow in that, and I've got a couple of rocks I just change out for the angelfish, put them out covered in sponge and fan worms. They graze on them for a week, and I just change them around.
Right.
So it's kind of like a little food farm, if you like.
What angelfish you got, Jay?
I've got my Regal Angel, which is my absolute favourite. I'm sure you'll agree, Drip. It's a nice fish.
Yeah.
I know you like those. And then I've also got a captive bred goldflake, which is beautiful frag tank at the minute. Yeah, he's a.
Oh, that brings me back to something I was going to ask you, Jamie. So the name, obviously, if my mouse will let me. No, here we go. The name Reef N Teeth. Then, obviously, you've got the freshwater. Drippy, I hope you agree with me on this, but I think, seeing as though we've got Jamie on, and it is called Reef N Teeth, it would be really good if we played a little game. What would do you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay, so with that in mind, and you're called Reef N Teeth, I think it's time for.
Here we go.
Right then, Jamie, seeing as though you're joining us this Sunday, we haven't done it for a while. Drippy, do you mind, since it's your game, to sort of refresh our memories with the rules and how to play it?
Thank you, Thomas. You are going to be asked a question. You'll see it come up. You must answer, I would rather eat my own teeth than. Very simple. You really can't mess this up. Tom's even played it, and Tom didn't mess it up. So, over to you.
I've not had any forewarning about this, so that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, and there's only one stipulation: it's that honesty bleeds. Right, okay. Let's see how many people we can upset this morning.
So the first question for you, Jamie, is: I would rather eat my own teeth than use. And when you answer the question, you have to read the question with the answer at the end.
Easy things.
And you want it to be reef related?
Correct, yes.
Unfortunately.
Oh, God. I would rather eat my own teeth than use, controversially, Jekon equipment, Jabal equipment.
Ooh. Big statement.
Okay. Like it. Thank you.
And because I've been burnt with it before, and you know what it's like. If you have a bad experience with something, you're reluctant to go back to it, and I don't trust any of it now.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Fair enough. Thank you for answering honestly. Appreciated. Next one for you then.
Reefing related.
Can't be Jekon equipment again either.
Yeah, can't be the same answer. Thanks, Josh.
Okay. I would. All right. Okay. I'd rather eat my own teeth than buy corals or frags online.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Oh,
big controversy this morning. I'm loving this.
Or fish.
I would never, and I never have bought a fish online. No, I'm old school. I like to see it and watch it, and all the rest of it, and see where it's come from, how it's been looked after and cared for. And I don't. It's not necessarily a slight on the retailer. It's more so your APCs of this world that just chuck them about and smash them up.
That's fair.
Okay, fair point. Thank you for that. Your next one is: I would rather eat my own teeth than sell. So something that you've maybe got in your possession, maybe.
Okay.
If that helps, reefing related, that you would,
Not
Yeah.
in your pocket, in your tanks.
Tanks, right.
Or it could be equipment, couldn't it?
Yeah, prized possession.
I was testing Ian then. Well done, Ian. You passed.
Come on, son.
It's boring, but I'd rather eat my own teeth than sell my Regal Angel. No way is that going to ever leave.
I answered that once with that answer.
Okay, excellent.
Unfortunately, it's no longer here.
Sold it.
Ooh, here's an interesting one. I'd rather eat my own teeth than take advice from.
Go on, Jay. Here we go.
Rather eat my own teeth and take advice from Facebook groups.
Good answer.
Oh, right, brothers.
Yeah, including Rodder's Facebook group.
Don't create content, mate. I'll just moderate it.
Oh, Jamie, you're doing well here. You're flying. Thank you. Couple more left. I would rather eat my own teeth than admit to the other half I paid.
Oh, God, I hope she's not watching this. I would rather eat my own teeth than admit to the other half.
Hang on, Jay. Before you give your answer, if you're going to try and underplay this, Josh is one of those that he's going to get straight on Google and find out. All right, Liam.
So I normally, before I say it, I normally tell my wife that when you buy the frags on the frag plugs, the smaller they are, the cheaper they are. That's why I buy the plugs. Which is some of the plugs, as you know, some of the little sticks you can buy can be a little bit more than that. Oh God.
Is your wife watching? Is your wife watching?
She's holding the camera.
And the base of that.
Okay, I'd rather eat. This is going to be fucking really bad, but rather eat my own teeth than admit to the other half I paid a few £100 for an angelfish and told her we couldn't afford to go out for her birthday.
Brave man!
Yeah.
What a brave man!
What a legend!
Now, jeez!
Oh, Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie. You need to take a bow for that. You need to take a bow.
I'd run inside. If I was you, I'd run inside now and hide the bleach.
I've got a lock on the door. I'm safe in it. It was the Golf Lake Angel as well. It's quite a pricey fish, and I was like, we can't afford to go out this weekend. And I come in with that fish. I was like, it's only £20. So, yeah.
This game is going to bring about some divorces. I'm positive.
If anybody in the comments has done anything similar, we do want to know. So please throw it in the comments, and I'll throw it up on the screen. You've got one more, but Jamie, you definitely dip my hat to you, sir, for this.
I'm just checking the comments to see if it's come up yet. But
I would rather eat my own teeth than reef without.
Actually, I've come full circle. I'd rather eat my own teeth than reef without ICP testing. I didn't do it for so long, and it's been a game changer for me.
Nice.
Cool.
Safe answer that one, wasn't it?
Yes, very good. Well, I'm sure the gentlemen at the side of me will all thank you for being very honest this morning and playing along with it. Thank you very much.
Who's going to answer that? Your missus, just to try and fucking lick her. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the end of that. Thank you very much. Wow. When I grow up, I want to be just like Jamie. Yeah, it is the best one. There's some of the best. I think there's some of the best answers we've had, Jamie. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. Let's just go back to your Instagram.
Although Liam's was good because Liam's missus was sitting about 2 foot away from him.
Yeah. So you've got it. So we're going to get to the tank shortly, Ben. So it's a bit mixed reef, is that right? From what I've known, what you've sent me, what I've seen. Yeah, a bit of everything.
I started out. I really do like LPS, like euphyllias and hammers and torches, corals. Right? I love all those. But as I got more confident with it and went a bit deeper, I've gone very sticky. I've got some nice acros in there now that are doing really well, and that's kind of where I've gone now. But yeah, in fact, my affiliates have been a bit too successful, and they need fragging back because they're just encroaching everything at the minute.
Yeah. Oh, torch. Oh.
Oh, this was the worst part of my reefing journey, is having to buy nitrated dose. Can't believe I'd ever be doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I decided just to buy more fish and get nitrate that way.
You ever try and do the ammonia route?
No, do you know what? I haven't. It's something I did read about. Oh, there's the ugly face. Christ. Yeah, the ammonia route was something I did sort of put a bit of thought into, but yeah, I didn't. It just seems mad buying ammonia and nitrate products, doesn't it? And adding phosphate to the tank.
To be fair, Harry's saying he thought you might have mentioned your wife was what you could reef without with to redeem yourself, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Do you buy predominantly from AAC?
Yeah, pretty much all of my livestock has come from AAC, and that's not just me plugging AAC because of my sort of pals and stuff that are there, but it's my local fish shop, and I just want to support my local fish shop.
Where are you, Jay?
I live near Ware, so I'm about 15 minutes from AAC.
Where?
Oh, right. Yeah.
John's asked. Sorry, Jamie. John's asking you: do you prefer reefing more than freshwater?
It's a loaded question, isn't it? Yes, probably yes, I do.
Good, because I was just floating over removing you from the channel then. But good answer.
I like all the extras, the in-depth stuff behind it, and the gadgetry and all that sort of stuff with the reef. So yeah, the reef is sort of like piques my interest a lot more from that side of it. Plus, it ties in with my job as well. So in my working life, I'm playing with dosing setups and doing lab analysis and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like what I'm used to now. It's a bit more interesting.
What is your day-to-day job then? Because you're not in AAC full-time, are you?
No, I don't really work for AAC. I'm just I just help out when I can. You know what it's like. You know back in the day when if you went to a restaurant and wanted a really nice steak and you couldn't afford it, and they get you out the back to clean the dishes.
Yeah,
that's kind of my relationship with AAC. I want the nice shiny stuff, but I give them voluntary days as and when I can to try and chip away at paying it off.
Yeah, that's a good way.
But, I work in water treatment. I do a lot of it's basically like chemical consultancy, dosing equipment for pharmaceuticals, food and beverage industry. It's boring, mate. It really is boring. It ties in. This is I've not seen these older sort of videos for a long time.
Are you working at AAC at Love to Reef, or are you at Love to Reef?
I'm there at Love to Reef. Yeah. I try and help out all those sorts of things. Just
what, as a hobbyist, or are you working?
It's not a job for me either way. I'm helping out Paul for the day, so I'll have my AAC shirt on.
Right.
Yeah. Unless it tells he doesn't need me, which he might well do.
Oh, you met Tony, Mr. Vargas.
What a guy!
Yeah, that was when we first released his volume 2, and he come down and did a bit of a book signing at AAC. Nice guy.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember
that.
Yeah. So what equipment are you running on the tanks then, on the reef systems at the minute? Is it still some of these that's pictured, some Red Sea stuff and UVs?
I've got the Red Sea filter roller, the Reef Mat 500s, and I've got the Reef Octopus skimmer. I think it's the 150S skimmer.
Right. Yes.
Really decent, reliable bit of kit actually. And then we've got Deltec media reactor, and then all my flow. I've got a couple of Reef Wave gyros, but MP6, MP40s, and MP10, and all my lighting is Radeon Gen 6.
Right.
The standards, not the blues, or the Radeon G6 Pros, which I can't fault. Cannot fault. And to be fair to Fox, who's in the chat, I had an issue with one of my XR30s, just with the power cable, and bit of a shout out to Foxy. This sort of customer care he gave me on that. was superb. Just replaced it for me, no questions asked. And as a result, I went and bought 4 more XR15s and stuck with Radion. So I really like
an experience like that. It does just make you want more, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just wish it was the same with my pumps, but anyway, we'll not go there.
Well, what's happening with your pumps?
You know exactly what's happening with my pumps. They haven't been delivered yet, and they should have been here on Friday. I stayed in all afternoon. Anyway, so how big is this? How big is this reef tank, Jamie? Sorry,
6 foot long, 18 inches front to back, and 24 height. 6 by 18 by 2. Plus, it's got a 4 foot sump as well. So, but since this was built, also added the frag tank onto the system. So all in all, about 720 litres.
because isn't the frag tank a tropical or a cold water tank that you've adjusted? Is that right? You've sort of fabricated or made it into a marine.
Yeah, I say everything in this fish room is sort of like self-built, and I wanted to toy with the idea of putting a frag tank on the system. So, I've never at that point I've never drilled a tank before. So I bought a sort of Facebook Marketplace second-hand tropical tank, dual tank, and thought I'll give a go at drilling that. I don't want to go and spend, so much money, drill it and crack it or something. I bought a second-hand tank and it's worked out really well. Drilled it, plumbed it into the system, all powered off a single same return pump. It's been quite cool.
Have you had any sort of headaches in your reefing sort of journey? Anything that you've come up against? I know you mentioned earlier you were having to dose nitrate, but any sort of frustrations, banging your head against the wall moments in the reefing sort of time?
My ugly phase went through three spikes. So every time I thought I'd killed the ugly phase, it'd come back again with something else, and that was really frustrating. Probably had about 6 months worth of headaches getting rid of that. And then my ongoing struggle is getting my phosphate and nitrate off the floor. Like my last ICP, my nitrate was still at 5. So that's probably the highest it's been since I've been running the system.
More fish.
Yeah, this is it. So I put some Antheus in there, and the auto feeder feeds pellet to them 6 times a day, and it's coming up slowly. But I am sort of a heavy in, heavy out. So I've got an alkylite reactor on there as well, which probably is the reason why it strips all the nitrate out. But I like to feed my fish a lot. Like I got into reefing more for the fish. The fish is what do it for me more. I say I'm probably a fish keeper more than a reef keeper. But,
was that because of the colours, or compared to you get more vibrant colours maybe compared to freshwater?
Probably it's changed a bit now. Obviously, I'm into the corals a lot now, but I've just always been into the fish and the variety and the different species you can have in marine was obviously it's almost limitless, isn't it? And there's a lot of fish I wanted to keep. As you'll probably see later on as we speak, I take quite a few risks with my fish keeping as well in the reef side of things. So like I've got 5 clams which I absolutely love in that BT, and then put the regal in and sat there and winced for a couple of weeks watching what he was going to do. Yeah, I'm probably the only idiot that's gone out and bought one of these new farmed Scotties for a few quid and stuck it in my frag tank with a gold flake angel, which has now I've got a cage over it because he likes to nip at it.
What did your missus have to go without for you to get the Scully?
Oh, don't do this to me, Drippy. I don't know, mate.
Nice comment there from Paul.
Yeah.
You were just 16, 17 years old. Wow.
Yeah. Morning, Paul. Yeah, I'll tell you a bit about that journey if you like. So, Paul
do it.
He gave me my first ever job. So, I was always into my fish, as I was saying, and I wanted to get into it more. I went and applied as a sort of Saturday boy, a guppy boy, as he calls me, in Home Marine, which sadly is no longer with us. It closed down last year. So he gave me my first ever job as a spotty little teenager. I've probably known Paul 24 years now, which is mental. And obviously Paul went and set up AAC and the Essex Coral Farm and all that sort of stuff. And I was still at Home Marine for a few years after that. I went there full time after uni. And then, obviously, it's local to me. Got back in touch. Never lost touch, but got back into go into AAC quite regularly. I had a reef tank set up about 10, 12 years ago, which I bought my stuff from AAC. That was just a terrible little sort of a tropical tank conversion. just softies basically. And I always sort of said I wouldn't do it again until I could do it properly. And then I just went and saw Paul basically and said, I've got this tank, I need to kit it out. And then boom, the fire was lit again. And then luckily he's given me the opportunity to go back and get involved again, which is, brilliant. Yeah. Really, really good.
So you're running a sandbed on this reef tank, I've noticed then. So not interested in bare bottom because you don't have a substrate on your freshwater, do you? They're all bare bottoms, but I'm looking at it.
So I took the substrate out of the freshwater when I had the incident with the tiger fish eating the ray barb because he just picked it up off the floor. I couldn't see it in the substrate. So now that's clear so I can avoid that happening again. And yeah, I've got a natural sand bed in the display tank. The frag tank's bare base. But yeah, no, I want sand. As I say, I've got a silver belly wrasse that needs a sand bed. So I like the natural behaviour of all that. Plus also there's, all the critters that go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favourite corals then? I know you're a fish man. You said the regal angel you wouldn't reef without. Fish corals then? Any standout pieces you've got in your possession that you love?
Yeah, technically not corals, but the clams certainly.
Okay.
Well up there. And then I've got probably a couple of my nicer torches, quite dear to me. And then I've also got a couple of higher end acros now, which now they've started basing out and growing. I'm loving them. Like things like strawberry shortcake, AAC delirium, which is like I think a type of tenuous.
That's the bright yellow one.
It's so many different colours. It's such a cool piece. It's bright greeny, sort of neon-y green yellow with pink tips and pink bases of the polyps. It's really, really nice piece of coral that. But I've kind of like I've stuck with what's good for me. Like every system's different. So I know you say you're not a fan of chalices, Tom, but chalices seems to do really, really well for me. So I've started collecting quite a few chalices. But for example, miniaporas don't do very well. I've tried minis a few times and they just don't grow. I don't know what it is, but so
I'm standing corrected on the chalice because I've always said they've not done anything for me because they just sort of encrust or whatever, sort of table a little bit. But with me having the smaller tank and me not having as much sort of real estate or foot spread or whatever you want to call it, for me to get little corals with so many different colours on them, I think they're a good shout. I really do. Yeah.
Foot spread, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Footprint. Thank you, Steve. Yeah. So this is when you change your power heads.
Yeah, that's probably let it go a little bit too long there, didn't I?
A little bit.
you have spares that you swap them over while you're soaking the others, or do you just?
No, that's a good shout, Ian. I've debated picking up a few extra spare wet sides just to do that, but I don't at the minute. No, it's just a case of doing them in batches.
You need to start putting the hours in at AAC, boy.
God, I dread to think how much I still owe them. No, you're right. It's good though. It's a good way. It's a good way of being able to get some nice shiny stuff and hopefully give something back.
I think the wet sides are about 80 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not. This is I've done a little. That is completely different now. I've put a bit of Bizarro Cyphastria on a.
Bizarro, lovely.
And that now that whole skull is covered. You might see it on some of the footage I sent to Tom. It's completely covered now.
Just going to get through here. Then we'll.
Tom's down backwards though. That's the problem.
No, I'm going in the right order here. Thank you.
Right. Well done.
So, have you still got all these fish in the reef system now that we're looking at, or have any moved on? Or
they're all there. The only fish I've ever moved on was the purple tang.
Okay.
That was just because he was
aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely killing the yellow tang. Absolutely destroyed it. I had to sump the yellow tang for about 3 months of recovery. I was really worried about it. Like over the course of maybe two days.
That's smart.
It lacerated it, and you could see just pink flesh all over the side of the yellow tang. And I was, a bit squeaky bums.
I know we're talking reef tanks, but what is that?
Fire eel.
Yeah, that was Neil. Neil the eel.
Oh, Neil the eel. That was Neil. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, that was the little frag tank then. Just preparing that.
The amphibians look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know, I do like the Aquarist. It's a superb fish, isn't they?
Live
when you
rock?
get the male check. Yeah, it's all live rock based. Yeah, I've got about 35 kilos in there.
Wow.
And it's kind of what Cam was saying on Friday night. I scaped it deliberately, so I've got two very low independent islands with the view to growing above it.
I've got exactly that. Funny enough, from Chezol, is it?
Yeah, good, isn't it? She's pretty good.
She'll be getting her stocks ready for Love to Reef about now, I would have thought.
Yeah, see, that's why I bought that. I bought that painting because I didn't think I'd ever be able to own a Regal Angel with the corals, but then I just sod it, tried it.
Is that a piece of the Lime in the Sky? I see the AAC one.
100%, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, very nice coral.
Looking a bit different now. Good structure.
Very nice.
Yeah, so back in the day, there I only had the two XR30s on there. I've added two more XR15 since then to grow, sort of stop the shading at the sides. So that's a lot better now.
Yeah.
You're right in what you were saying earlier, Jamie, about you can look back at stuff on your Instagram or pictures you've taken and you can see how stuff's developed.
Oh, it's crazy. This looks empty now, this tank. You can't even see much of the rock anymore, especially with that Monty everywhere.
I mean, look at that's really filling out now, isn't it? When's this then? Now, about a year ago. Is that right? 39. Yeah,
probably. The tank's about coming up 20 months old now, so it's not quite 2 years yet.
Yeah. Are you an orange glasses kind of guy?
I like to run my tanks on probably a much whiter profile than most people, but in the evenings, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, every time I ring Ian, he's wearing orange glasses. I swear he needs them just to watch TV.
I'm going to vinyl wrap the side of my tank in orange.
Yeah, and I just know that you would. Do you do water changes often then on the reef system? Or you got thought about an auto water changer or anything? Any plans there?
Not anymore. I'm playing with the idea of not doing water changes. I probably do one every 2 months. And that's only really just to give it when I'm doing a big clean. I do ICPs every 3 or 4 weeks now and keep it based around that. So this is what I was saying, my messy sort of DIY pipe work and that, but maybe my wear box and it works for me.
Yeah. If it works, you can't knock it.
All the pipe work. I mean, Paul at AAC does his nut with me because all my pipe work's all imperial. Just because I've got it all from it's all from work, from leftover jobs. So it is what I've had. I've not had to pay for the pipe work. But when you're trying to fit like a return pump fitting or something, and everything's in metric in the reefing world, isn't it? And mine's all imperial. It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Oh, Lego fish.
This was it.
Nice. Do the family get much involved then, Jamie? With it being a bit of an obsession, is it fair to describe it as an obsession?
The good timing, because that little tank there was I bought for my little boy. He kept on wanting to put Spider-Man ornaments in my tanks, and I was like, absolutely not. So I got him a little freshwater setup, which they ended up with a SpongeBob SquarePants figure and stuff in it. But pleased to say, these two absolutely love the more natural stuff now. When I took my oldest boy down to the shop to buy some stuff for his tank, he chose real wood and real plants over the sort of glow in the dark castles and stuff. So I was
wow.
And it's nice when my littlest son, he's nearly 3. He's just turned 3, and he'll even at that age he'll tell you, "Oh, that's a clownfish, Daddy. That's an angelfish." It's like they're sort of taking it on. It's quite nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
That's Arrow.
Yeah. Well, that's the frag rack that Harry did for you, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Harry absolutely smashed it. It's a custom size, custom everything. So I don't know if that was made it more difficult for him. But to be fair to him, he got the right font from a logo and everything. Every little detail was covered. And
nice.
Yeah, honestly, it's amazing. It was
it looks really good.
Before I just had some crappy sort of like egg crate cable tied together, but no, that's much better now. Yeah, really, 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 really good.
What's the website, Steve? Remind me.
marine-spec.co.uk.
Yeah, he makes all sorts. And the thing I liked about Harry is he just basically every idea he had was sent a picture of, do you want this, do you want that, and it was like properly custom. Really, really good.
Let's have a look. This one, if anybody's interested. This one, yeah.
On there now.
Wow. Yeah. So he does bespoke stuff, obviously. So if you want something personalising, you can get in touch with Harry, and he can send you through what? Did you get a couple of proofs first to approve, or was it just a case of you just left him to it?
Yeah, he sent me a couple of like sort of colour swatches to choose from. All the rest of it. Yeah, it's really, honestly, it's like, where do you want the writing? What colour do you want the writing? Do you want different? The actual, you can't really see it in the pictures. The actual coral trays itself it's got a black perspex top and a clear underneath, so you get a bit of light reflection coming from the base. It's quite cool. Quite cool how it's done it.
Okay. So this is the display tank now, then, I take it, or recently? This is the day when you filmed it.
This is the other day. You see what I'm saying about the hammers getting a bit too big there in the sort of the lower front. That all came as a single. Well, I bought a single frag, like a double-headed frag, which has just grown. I split it in half, and it's now probably about the size bigger than the grapefruit each end.
Yeah.
That one in shop now has actually already been broken in half. It's done really quite well. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix of stuff going on, but
that tort's really grown out. Wow.
The what? Sorry, the
tort. Yeah, really grown out.
That Miyagi tort has been clipped and cut back so many times already, and that was the first acro I bought. The first that was my sort of, is my tank capable of looking after an acro? So I bought obviously torts are quite hardy as acros go, and yeah, it's done really well. Wow. This is the overflow weir I made. Just bought some black plastic offline and glue it together. This is just to show you where the piping runs. So all the pipes go back to the same sump.
Yeah.
And then you've got skimmer needs cleaning, but not the rest of it. The UV was the last thing I added because like an idiot, I bought a powder blue thinking I could get away with not having a UV, but needed a UV.
What do you tend to shoot for in your numbers or your parameters? Is it something you test? Do you test regularly? Have you got anything automated, or do you do it? What's your sort of approach to parameters?
Yeah, my consumption's actually gone through the roof over the last couple of months. So I'm dosing about 110 ml a day of universal and complete. So it's quite a bit for a 700 litre system. But yeah, my calcium's I aim about, it's probably about 380 at the minute. Magnesium's always a bit high, about 1410.
Right.
pH, I don't usually measure pH, but I've got my this room is always sort of empty and the windows are always open, so that helps keep a nice sort of stably high pH. And all the rest of it is what my ICP tells me. I might tweak a little bit here and there, but I just rely pretty much on the 2-part.
Okay, cool.
As I say about nutrients, phosphate and nitrate is still. I'm lucky. I just about scrape a 0.02 on phosphate, 0.02 on phosphate. That's the slightest change of blue on the Tropic Marine test kit. And then nitrate, as I say, it's about 5 or 6. Been quite stable at that.
Cool. In terms of when you've got a little bit of play money, when you should be taking the wife out for a candlelit dinner and you choose not to, maybe you do that again. I don't know. If she's watching, I'm sure Jamie's going to be taking you out shopping fairly soon. How do you decide what you're going to spend your money on in terms of the freshwater as opposed to the marine? Is that an easy answer for you, or do you have a bit of a,
I hadn't bought. I've not bought any new fish for the freshwater side for a long time, probably a year or so. And then that arowana sort of came up, and I was like, well, I've been waiting for something a bit special rather than just your standard golden crossbacks or whatever. So
I love how you say. I love how you say came up. Sorry, just like knocked on the door asking if there was any room.
Just came
It's
about,
okay.
yeah. So I thought it was about time I got my mojo back a bit with the freshwater, so I went for that. But pretty much, there's not a week goes by where I probably don't buy something for the reef. There's always, I'm adding to it constantly, and especially now I've got like a massive frag tank to fill. You know, you can't go to your local shop and not pick up a frag. When you're there, you've got to get something, right?
I've got a massive frag tank I need to fill. That is exactly what how it gets you this hobby. I've got a frag tank, so I've got to fill it.
Yeah, that's it. It looks a bit barren, but yeah, it's just I'm at the point now as well where nearly 2 years in, I don't necessarily need to buy any filler coral anymore. I've got all the basic stuff all grown really well, so it's just special bits I'm looking for and picking up. Occasionally a fish, but I'm almost at capacity if I sort of think about the growth in the future. But I use the frag tank as a bit of a settling tank. So I've currently got a convict tank and the gold flake in there at the minute, which will go into the DT when they're a bit bigger. So then there's always scope to have fish in the frag tank as well, I suppose. But no, it's just the special bits now. There's always something.
Definitely.
Matt's
asking you what salt you use, if you don't mind, if you can share that with us.
Yeah, I use the Red Sea blue top.
Okay.
Use that since day dot. No issues with that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Gentlemen, any more questions for Jamie? Anything you want to ask that we haven't covered this morning?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of bases. Yeah, it's been amazing.
It's cool.
Anybody? No? Steve?
No,
Okay.
It's just a fantastic tank.
It is. And I think
Tanks,
the way
plural.
the way you've one thing you've done with that room, which I take me out of to you, is and I didn't do it with the garage, is you've given yourself loads of space to work in, because you could have gone bigger with the tanks, probably, but you would have been falling over yourself. Have you got any plans to change anything in the future? Any phase 3 of the fish house?
So that was it. In the fish room phase 1, I was lucky if I could fit a stall in to sit on a stall and just look at stuff. It was like this.
Yeah.
So I thought, when I rebuilt it, I'm going to have like enough room to swing a chair around, enjoy the room. And I've got a bit of a workstation out here as well. So I've got a desk in here now. It's more about comfort and not cramming it all in. But I don't know. I dare say there's scope for more, but I'm happy at the minute. I'm focusing on getting it right rather than quality over quantity, I've got a question to put back to you guys, though, while I've got the expertise in the room.
Where?
We're talking about problems with the tank. The one problem I have got since day dot is purple star polyp invasion. Right? It's a pain in the neck. And I've tried everything. I've tried putting putty over it. It sort of kills it back, but it comes back again. I've tried, Joe's juice, that sort of stuff. It knocks it back and it comes back again. I've even added in a couple of pests from a wild import, some nudibranchs. Nothing. And tweezers. Every time I pick it up with tweezers, if I drop a bit, it reappears somewhere else. So my next idea is thinking either a file fish or really risking it and putting like a camel shrimp in there, like the hingeback shrimps, which are known coral eaters, but I don't know whether they're going to go to town and everything else. So,
I have lots of
that Ron uses. Ron uses some mixture, doesn't he? Like calc and something that he says like is death for whatever it touches.
Okay.
Well, there is something that you can put in. I'm sure Ian's going to tell me what it is. I can't remember the chemical, and it kills.
I've had this problem with blue tanks. The first time I tried to do the natural route, I used pyramid butterflies because they're apparently predatory. Started touching it, but I think because I was putting so much food in, become disinterested quite quickly. Filefish I tried, didn't really work. Trouble with it is it's so prolific at growing. And the only ever way, I went through everything with Paul trying to kill it the first time, and I ended up breaking the tank down and starting again the first time because I just literally couldn't kill it. And then I caught it again the second time, and I used farbenzolol.
Yes, that's a dewormer, right?
Correct. The only thing if I remember rightly, it will kill inverts as well. It's pretty good with SPS and LPS. It will kill green star polyps, any zinnias, anything soft like mushrooms, toadstools. It will kill them as well. Shrimps, crabs, snails. So yeah,
It's
it is
a pain, isn't it?
I'm not going to lie. I've heard a lot of people just removing the rock and starting to escape again, which obviously you don't want to do.
exactly what I did. Exactly what I did in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I can control it, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, it's been done eventually.
They did make a dent, but like I said, I think I've put so much food in the tank. In the end, they just become disinterested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
Has the fox face showed any interest in it? Jay,
What, sorry?
has the fox face showed any interest in it?
No, the foxface hasn't. But you know, when I had the Regal in the frag tank when I first bought it, it was pecking at green star polyp, and I was like, "You absolute beautiful little man." I thought, put it in there, it'll go for the. It's not touched the purple at all. It's not interested. Probably for what Ian says, like it's too much other food going in there. It's, why should I eat that when I'm going to get gourmet every day?
Yeah.
But no, it's, I mean, no tanks without its problems, is it? Right? So can't be too unhappy. But...
Well,
Yeah, as problems go, it's not a bad one, is it?
No, it's not desirable, but nothing. I've not got problems with death or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's been a great help, hasn't he? Look.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my camera's died, so we after Friday I've not charged it, so apologies. Right, Steve, you're back on Wednesday, aren't you?
Yes.
Sorry, who's saying that? Who's talking? Who's saying that?
You're going to be having a chat with Matt from ITC. You're on there with Matt as well from Norfolk Reef joining you.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep, certainly am.
Right, cool. Joining for
Looking
that.
forward
That's
to this one.
Wednesday at what? Sorry, 8 o'clock. Yeah?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect. And I believe from talking to Ronald, we've got a salty banter this afternoon at 3 o'clock as well.
Correct. Yeah, looking
Okay.
forward to that one as well.
Look forward to that one as well. Should be good. Yes. Jamie, I'm sorry I can't see you right now for the last couple of minutes, but thank you ever so much for coming on. Been a pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you'll come on again and talk to us at Love to Reef and wherever else we cross paths. Thank you ever so much.
I doubt he will. The host is just. I mean, what are you doing?
My camera's died, mate. My camera's died. Battery gone. Right.
Thanks for having me on.
No, you're welcome. You're very
Nice one,
welcome.
Jay.
Ian, Steve, thank you very much. Josh, pleasure as always. Drippy, well, no comment.
Pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. What's left of it, and we'll see you all Wednesday on Steve's channel. If not, we'll see you Friday. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.